weeds are everywhere. They're killing us.
I need a bunch of weed whacking done. I'd like to get that done a little more time.
Why don't we get a crew on that now?
3, 4, 5, 6 weed whackers.
Let's go! Shocking how much these weeds are like. I mean, I don't like to use the word war and battle and fight up here, but these weeds, there's a little tiny hole in this plastic. There's a weed growing through it.
Weed whacking is a solution to a problem we created. Besides not being my favorite thing to do, it's not good for our crop.
Anthony Sullivan here. Anthony Sullivan here. Anthony Sullivan here.
For decades, he's sold hundreds of products and built multiple businesses. But now, he's taking on a challenge he's completely unprepared for. Inspired by the benefits his daughter Devon experienced using CBD, Sully went all in. He bought a 116-acre farm.
We're gonna buy a couple RVs, we're gonna buy some seeds, we're gonna buy a tractor.
Convinced his great friend Dave Christian to be his partner.
I've never farmed a thing in my life.
And now, despite having zero farming experience, they're growing 50 acres of medicinal cannabis plants. The team at Kush has battled the elements, their equipment, and each other on the way to the moment they've all been waiting for, harvest. Now just weeks away. But the weeds just might have something to say about that.
Feels like the weeds that we don't want are growing faster than the weed that we do want. And it's driving me crazy. So I'm into weed whacking.
Listen, buddy, I grew up whacking weeds in England.
It would be a lot easier if we could just use pesticides. But we are an organic farm, and that is not an option.
You know, as you're doing it right, you're thinking, is there another way to do this? And there is.
Abby, she grew up on the farm. She has this idea to weed in between the rows using a horse and plow.
So you're starting to get these grass beds up in here. And so what we want to do is go in, turn the land so we bring the roots up on top, and those roots aren't taking the nutrients from our plants. When they start weed whacking, they're basically cutting the top of the weed, and it causes an endorphin to go through the plant and say, I'm coming back, I'm gonna survive. You're creating this little monster of a weed, and now that you've cut part of it off and it's come back with a vengeance, it's gonna take more.
And when it comes to horses, I trust Abby. She is a horse whisperer.
Hey, it's a riding instructor.
In fact, she was Devon's horse trainer.
I've known Devon since she was 5. We horseback ride together. I've gotten to see that slope she went down. The medicine was so bad for her, had depleted her of being able to be the spunky Devon that she is. Ready? 1, 2, and 3, up and over. But then I got to see the success that she was able to conquer because of her use of CBD. The thing that makes this farm so special is it's built on love for Devon. We're gonna get very nice.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, you know? I mean, if you could have told me this time last year I'd be up here with you on a 116-acre organic farm, I would say you're out of your mind. All motivated by Devon, too.
Yeah.
What about this horse?
All right, well, Daryl, that's Phil's uncle who has the horse. I will call him today.
I really like this idea of the horse because it's not spewing fumes into the air like those weed whackers. And when you think about it, a horse is much less likely to damage the plants because it can go where big machinery can't. But I don't think I'm the one that Abby's gonna have to convince.
So how much is my budget?
0.
See, this is the issue.
Fuck. To me, weed whacking is the path of least resistance. It works, it gets the job done.
This is an organic farm. We should have a horse.
Hi,
I'm Abby.
I'm Daryl.
Hi, Daryl.
Glad to
Pleasure
meet
to meet you.
Phil's one of our local farmhands, and his uncle Daryl has experience with a horse and plow. So he's agreed to stop by and give us a consult.
So I'd like to look at the field, see what you got to do to them, how high the weeds are,
Okay.
and how wide the paths are.
Let's go for a ride. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
So how many acres they got here?
Of growing, about 50.
You said 50, 50?
50. Oh, I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh my gosh, you do need some cultivating.
It's very bad.
That is wicked heavy. I didn't realize you guys were in such a bad need. The weed whacker just cuts it off. It's like mowing a lawn.
Okay.
You got to keep on mowing it and mowing it and mowing it.
And so we're just basically sending out the boys wasting money, wasting hard
what's
labor.
happening. Weed whacking, it's just growing a lawn, actually. A horse will go in between the rows. You don't have to take fuel. And my experience of growing up on the farm back in the 50s with my grandparents, it was the way they did it, and it's almost wrote in stone, with my opinion. Well, we're gonna have to find a cultivator right off quick, and I'll make some phone calls today. This is a hard weed right here. These will have very large roots on them.
Dave wanted to plant closer together so we could fit more in. And now we have to resort to weed whacking. This is stupid because we really shouldn't be doing it.
I will turn Dave on this one. It's going to be easier for Dave just to say yes.
We better get a horse here pretty darn soon.
Oh, my goodness gracious!
Hey, brother.
My man!
We have a very special visitor to the farm, Ethan Zohn. He's an interesting cat and a great friend. Ethan won Survivor Africa, and he did Eco Challenge with Sully and I. He's a CBD user, and I want to see his expression when he sees what Sully and I have built. Look at you. You're always so goddamn thin now.
Do you need a size large? Or
I'm medium.
You're only wearing medium?
Yeah, it's the Metro look. Welcome to Mount Kush, brother.
So you put this all up yourself?
This was nothing, buddy. This was an empty field.
This is incredible, man.
I'm excited to show you the rest of it.
We're going for a ride up the mountain. I met Sully and Dave during Eco Challenge, and I mean, I thought these guys were nuts.
This is named after my daughter, Addie.
When I talked to them months ago, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna buy a little farm up in Vermont. And then I come up here, and this is unbelievable.
Wow. Ethan's happy.
You know, after I won the show Survivor, you know, my life wasn't done throwing me challenges, and I was diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer called CD20 positive Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I went through multiple rounds of chemotherapy, 22 blasts of radiation, and 2 bone marrow transplants. And, you know, as a patient, the fear sets in. What if I die? What if the chemo didn't work? What if, you know, I can't have babies? What if I never get married? Like, all this stuff's going through your head. And I started using CBD, and it really kind of helped me deal with a lot of the side effects of cancer. And I was able to kind of take a deep breath and exhale and kind of like say a little goodbye to the anxiety and start living my life again.
Beautiful. Look at that.
This is what sold me on the place.
I'm a firm believer in Western medicine. Like, chemotherapy, radiation, transplants saved my life. But on the flip side, cannabis helped me so much. And, you know, nature, you know, this is the world's pharmacy.
No hard labor today.
Nothing?
The first day, I get you involved,
Yeah.
and then I hit you with the hard labor.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Hey man, the guys pulling the weeds out of the hole found this out there today.
For real?
Yep.
What is it?
It's a hermaphrodite plant. It's a little bit of both.
Talk to me in English. Hermaphrodite.
Well, it's got both
Sounds like
female and male flowers.
What we're looking at in this field is literally toxic masculinity.
Put it there. So if you take a look, those are all pollen sacs.
No shit, buddy.
But this branch here's got a lot of female flowers.
So what's it going to do to the other plants around it?
So what happens is that when like a windy day or something, these pollen sacs break open, and here's some open ones here, and they release pollen around and floats in the air and lands on What it does is land on parts like this, and then later on, plants will produce seed and a lot less CBD percentage.
Basically, the male seed hooks up with the female flower. The females are fine until the males come along.
Sure.
It only takes one man to fuck it up. This can fuck it up. When we bought these seeds, they're all supposed to be high CBD females, but you're always gonna get some males in the bunch.
Male pollen sacs are important to get rid of. It's just because once a plant is fertilized, it doesn't produce the same type of cannabinoid content as an unfertilized plant. It spends all its energy in coming up with more seed. If we had that infestation in like a whole field or more than one field, that would be the worst thing that we could have. If you look in here, there's some open sacs.
Did you flag it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it contaminating other
Yeah,
plants?
it's the 5th row, 18th plant in.
5th or 18th
Mark,
plant.
there's a mark on it now.
Left unchecked, it can basically wipe out the whole entire crop.
Well, Carl, I need you to take this and show every person on
I
the
think
farm.
for the 8 a.m.
This
meeting,
is the first one we found, so
we should keep it alive. Put it in quarantine, pull it out at the 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow, show everyone what it is, what it means, give them a science lesson. This is potentially catastrophic.
Weeders all have trash bags. If they see one, cut it down, put it in a trash bag.
Flag the area and do a full sweep.
we should give whoever found it $50 so that word gets around
Actually,
quick.
that's actually a good idea.
Of course it is. It was my idea.
Or 50, I was going to say 100. And up it, make it actually a meaningful amount. You cheap bastard. These are hard-working people. You want to give them $50 for finding something that can
This
potentially
is what I'm
ruin
talking
the
about,
crop?
Jen. In one breath, don't spend money. In the next breath,
Spend it.
I'm a cheap fucker.
Right.
We were always afraid this day would come. So now it's time to eradicate the males. Well, not all the males. I mean, you know what I mean.
All right, morning, everybody.
Let's have a quick conversation about males. Who found the male yesterday?
John did.
There's a reward for finding males. So you got a bounty on males. If you find one, you get $100.
You're looking for all these pollen sacs here growing instead of
These little sacs right here. Does everyone see these?
This one is both though, so you gotta look closely, you know.
This one male will put a hurting on the whole crop.
So when you find a male, bag it up with a trash can until and remove it.
How many should we have be expecting? Maybe
30.
So it's a little eerie that we've only found one.
99.9% of these plants are supposed to be female. So when we have 60,000 seeds, we're expecting like 30 male plants, and they will pollinate all of our crop. So we gotta hunt these toxic males.
There's $3,000 worth of males up there.
We were warned this day would come, so we're gearing up for a full-fledged FBI grid search of the entire farm.
We're all keeping our eye out for the male plants because there's a $100 reward. Here we go.
Yeah, this is a full-blown male here.
John, so you're now going to be renamed the Great White Male Hunter.
That doesn't sound all that right, dude. We'll find him a better nickname, but we'll think about
All
it.
these beautiful females? Come on.
Who knew? I've discovered that there's nothing like a good old toxic male hunt to get your crew in good spirits. Let's get this thing bagged up.
Man, he's really in there. That's a good male, dude.
Good work.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Abby has this idea about weeding in between the rows using a horse and a plow.
This is Babe.
This is a good idea, but Dave, he's got a system and he's not gonna want to change it.
Hi, Paul.
This is Babe. She's my best horse. According to organic farmers, the most sought-after advice is, what do I do about weeding? There you go. You know, when you cultivate, it pulls up the weed, it dries it out, and people want to know that whether it's CBD or hemp is sustainably being harvested.
I get why Dave doesn't want to do this. He's got a system that works, but from my position, we're an organic farm. Let's take a step back in time and try it. We got nothing to lose by trying it.
Hopefully she won't want to eat grass just all day.
It's like, but it's food.
What's in the plow, buddy? I'm gonna slowly grind Dave down on this one.
Okay.
You ready, Mama?
Get up, babe.
Good girl. We can't take machinery down those rows because our rows weren't planted consistently. But horses, they could get through those parts of the field that were 6 inches, and they could also go back through those parts of the field that were 5 feet. Come on, babe.
Oh, we're getting some action here, Abby. Get up, babe.
You have to push that cultivator down, drive it under, keeping it in the ground as much as possible so that it could actually pick up the soil and turn it.
With
Is it working?
Down. Get up, babe.
All right, Gizmo, back to work.
I heard we're making $100 on each find, so here we go. It's a 100% male plant right here.
The male pollen fertilizes the female flower, in effect stopping your CBD yield in its tracks.
Here we go, Dave. My proof of find, male plant, 100% male plant.
But we got to get this shit out of here.
It's not mature yet, but it's a full male.
Well, that's only worth $50. That's only worth $50.
It's 100% male.
Only mature males are $100.
They got another. There you go.
Here's my boy.
Dave, look what I found.
I ain't got my phone, so had to bring in the backup. Here's my proof of find.
I'm really proud of our crew today. We've all invested so much into these plants. We want them to survive, and we want this business to thrive.
Right there, easy money.
Of course, Sully's inflated $100 prize doesn't hurt their spirits either.
Pay up, Dave.
Come on, Mama.
Get up, babe.
Come on.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, easy. Something's not right.
Come on, Mama.
Get up, babe.
Come on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Something's not right.
Is that a rock?
Cultivators are famous for hitting rocks.
You know, we call this rock farm. We literally picked out a bunch of rocks at the beginning of the year. The farm that keeps growing rocks, we grew even more rocks today. I'll add it to my rock collection. And that proves my point once again that weed whacking is not better than this. We're gonna have to pick those rocks out next year. Why aren't we already getting them out this year? You got your first rock, babe.
Yeah, I know. But as you can see, I'm getting the turf up, but the deep roots are preventing it from coming all the way up.
And we have this thick root bed that we've been building. They've weaved in between themselves. They're hard to pull apart. The root beds are absolutely ridiculous. You literally have to rip at it. And so all these roots are extending down and they're going into the soil and they're taking the fertilizer that we're using for the hemp plants. Do you think those roots are so bad because we've been weed whacking it?
Yeah, I mean, it's next year. We have to somehow get this so you're not starting out with turf.
You're not fighting it.
Yeah.
Dave and I gave Abby the task of figuring out if the horse and plow can actually help with our weed problem.
At first glance, I can't say I'm impressed with their progress. I'm almost positive they're on the same exact row they started on.
Hello, Anthony Sullivan. Nice to meet you. It's my partner, Dave.
Dave, pleased to meet you.
So how'd it go?
Good. We ran into a few, problems.
Like what?
We had to give it multiple passes because you have so much heavy-duty sod.
It was a little intimidating having to admit that it didn't go this amazing, I plowed 20 rows, we got all this done.
The weed whackers are labor-intensive. They don't get the root of the problem, so I love the idea of turning the soil with a cultivator.
But when they saw the row and they saw how the soil's actually turned, the roots are out of it, they were pretty impressed.
If it didn't take 45 minutes, I would say it's a home run.
If we could get on it at an earlier date, cultivator would work exactly as planned.
When's the right time to do this?
Right after the weeds have germinated and they're going to be you're going to see their little hairs coming up. That's when they need to be done.
So you want to come over here when it's fresh.
Earlier
and just,
in the year.
And tackle it before the weeds even get in.
Mm-hmm.
I could get on board with the whole horse idea. It's organic, it's quiet. We could be using a horse to tackle our weed problem and be cultivating once a week. What's not to like?
I think this is viable with the right tool.
All right, well, this is to be continued. I'm not about to get rid of our weed whackers and switch to horses, but I do think Abby might be onto something. So maybe next year, if we start earlier, we'll give it another try.
Paul, thanks very much for coming out. I really appreciate it.
The failure is we started too late in the season. We have the education now. We see what happens when we weed whack. I think it's a huge success. The thing is, you can only be successful when you've managed to fuck something up and you're able to fix it yourself the correct way.
I love the horse, it's beautiful, and I love that it likes to eat weeds. It hasn't been eating the hemp.
Yeah, she doesn't want to eat the hemp.
All right, thanks very much, Paul.
Right. Sully and Dave tackled the male plants, threatening to destroy the CBD-rich female flowers in their field.
Hey, got one!
And discovered a new organic way of tackling their weed problem next season. Now, what to do with all those weed whackers?
Is the wrong type of weed creeping up on your crop? Do you have 66,000 plants in the ground worth millions of dollars that are about to be destroyed? Then do I have a solution for you? Anthony Sullivan here, for you guessed it, it's the Weed Whacker.
Weed Whacker.
This ever so unincredible device is absolutely useless. Guaranteed never to start, no matter how many times you try. And when it does, it guzzles gas like a V8 engine. The string will run out, and did I say it was noisy? Because they're noisy. And when the weeds get whacked, they grow back even stronger than when you first whacked them. It doesn't make any sense. But wait, there's more. Order a weed whacker today, and I'll include a second one absolutely free, because you're gonna need it. That's 2 weed whackers for the price of 1. Order now.